Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Detective Comics, issue number 1. Take a look at this comic cover right here. This is pretty big. This is issue number 1 to Detective Comics, the namesake of DC Comics. A lot of people don't know that. Actually, DC gets its name from Detective Comics. Detective Comics, DC. Anyways, with all the stuff that's coming out in this relaunch that I'm excited for and I'm looking forward to, I have to admit, Detective Comics was kind of overlooked. I mean, I knew I was going to get it, I knew I was going to buy it and read it and get into it, but it wasn't number 1 on my list of things to read. However, I stopped and thought for a bit. You know, Detective Comics actually has everything that I'm kind of looking forward to. Allow me to explain. Detective Comics represents one part of Batman. See, if you look at Batman and the Batman comics and the Detective Comics, they both represent a different aspect of Batman. Batman Comics represents the superhero aspect of Batman, while Detective Comics represents the detective aspect of Batman. Even though he's the world's greatest martial artist, even though he's a superhero, a vigilante, before everything else, Batman's a detective. And I love detective stories. I love mystery stories. I love trying to figure out how things work. It's just fun for me. So that's one thing that this comic definitely has going for it, for me in the early going. Number 2, well, Tony Daniel is doing this, and he's going to be writing and the artist. And I know a lot of people give Tony Daniel some trouble, but I actually really enjoy Tony Daniel. I find his art to be very good, and for an artist who is transitioning over into the role of writer, he's done a pretty good job. Sure, he's made some rookie mistakes here and there, but I've really enjoyed his work with Dick Grayson. Actually, to be honest, outside of Scott Snyder, I think he's done the best job with Dick. I mean, Life After Death, when Dick finds out who the Black Mask is, the new Black Mask, was a fantastic story arc. Really enjoyable. So, I'm actually excited to see where Tony Daniel takes this comic. Is he going to take it in the direction that it should be taken, as a detective comic, as a mystery comic, or will he take it in another direction? Well, we're just going to have to wait and see. So let's jump into issue number 1 of Detective Comics. Or they're calling it Batman Detective Comics. But whatever. Anyways, the issue starts off with Batman chasing after some leads on exactly where the Joker is located. Now, before I jump any further into this, sorry to stop the review, but it's debatable on exactly how long this takes place, exactly when this takes place. It's alluded that this actually takes place a little bit earlier on in Batman's career outside of the present day. In some interviews, even Tony Daniel says that it takes place early on in his career, and there's hints in this that alludes to that. So, for the sake of this review, we're just going to assume that this takes place maybe 5 or 6 years into Batman's career. Anyways, Batman is following up on some leads on exactly the location of the Joker, and he finds the Joker, buck naked, killing a guy. Yes, there was a guy that was trying to strangle and, well, hurt the Joker, and Joker didn't like it happening, so Joker decided to kill him. There's obviously more to this, but this is what Batman believes. As Batman is chasing after the Joker, Joker throws some explosions at him, and Batman has to stop and save a little girl that happened to be in the same room as the Joker, and, well, she wasn't dead? Now, that's a little off. Why does Joker have a girl randomly there? I mean, is this bad writing, or is this Joker trying to throw Batman off? Anyways, Batman saves the girl, but Gotham PD is hunting him down. Yes, not all Gotham PD likes him, but we do know that Commissioner Gordon does, seeing that he does have a talk with Commissioner Gordon, who reveals to Batman the location of the Joker. So the Joker must go up against the Batman in a tremendous showdown, and who will win? Well, you're just going to have to read and see. Let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, let me start things off. The art is good. It is really good. It's not quite as good as I think Tony Daniel has handled Batman in the past, but it's still good. It was enjoyable art, it was detailed art, and I like how it was done up. There were only a few sections where Batman's cowl looked a little off, but other than that, the art was good. Tony Daniels, You're doing exactly what you do best, and that is art. So the art was good. I also do like the conversation that goes on between Commissioner Gordon and Batman in this. I thought it was well done. I thought it was a nice little conversation. And given that this is probably taking place early on in his career, I think it's handled for the most part very well. The two kind of working with each other, but also being on opposite ends of the spectrum. Again, you're going to have to read to really see what I'm talking about, but the conversation between those two was actually very nice. The action in this is good, and I also like how they made Joker kind of a formidable enemy to Batman. Let's be honest, Joker is a crazy psychopathic killer, and he is unpredictable. But to be fair, in a straight-up one-on-one fight with Batman, he would lose horribly. But Joker has a lot of gadgets in this. He even has his own little grappling hook, which kind of made sense. It wasn't to the extreme where Joker's this martial arts master. He just has a lot of gag tricks that helps him out in the fight. So the fight was actually pretty good too. Bat. Well, the one bad I can think about is, and this has been alluded to in some interviews with Tony Daniels, there's going to be a love interest for Bruce Wayne in this, and I don't really care for it. Maybe it's because my heart is so set on Selina Kyle being Bruce's love interest, and the only ones that I give exception to is probably Silver St. Cloud and Wonder Woman, but to be honest, I really don't care for the angle that they're going for with this love interest. But besides that, whether or not you should get it, definitely. This issue was good. This was very good. It was a mystery. I like how Batman thinks in this mystery. I like how he gives detail on how he's thinking, how he's trying to figure out how the Joker thinks. I like how Joker is described in this as a person that you cannot profile. That's why he's so dangerous. And I like there's more to this mystery. There's a bigger player to this than the Joker. There's another villain introduced, a completely new villain who seems very interesting, and there's a shocking ending to this too that makes you want to pick up issue 2. This was, for the most part, well written. The art was good, and even though this was for me overlooked by all the other stuff that's happened in the DC universe, I have to say I really enjoyed this. So far, DC has done what they said they have done, and they're pulling out good books with the relaunch. However, I have about 6 books downstairs that I have yet to read. I just read this book, and I'm going to review them after I read them. So, I do recommend getting Detective Comics. It starts off good. It's a good Batman-Joker fight, and it looks like it's going to shape up to be a good mystery. So, Batman Detective Comics, pick it up. You will enjoy it. And if you were hesitant of Tony Daniel, don't be, because he did a good job writing this. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.